Welcome to my channel. If you like scary stories that may or may not seem true, stay tuned. I have a few frightful stories from Reddit users that may give you slight chills. Take a listen.
Reddit user Doomed Traveler of Moon wrote, "So I was living with my ex-girlfriend in Kentucky, near the mountains, and about twice a week she would go outside with her family, sit on the porch in the dead of night, and just keep watch. I finally asked her what was going on by the third time, and it was to keep the Wendigo and the like away. Now, fast forward about 5 months, her family goes on a trip to visit relatives. She goes along and I stay because I didn't really mesh with her family. And since they'll be gone a few days, they asked me to put out some candles on the balcony overnight, since they won't be able to. I say sure, and I forgot to do it, until I woke up around 2 a.m. to a very loud scream and red eyes at our second-story bedroom window. I immediately shat myself and rushed to start lighting candles on the screened porch, turning on all the lights as I go. I swear to God, I saw something rushing back into the tree line as I started lighting the candles."
Anonymous wrote, "Spur of the moment thing, but my son wanted to go to the park around midnight. I know, but hear me out. We both couldn't sleep, and I thought, why not? We went, ran into another family, who also was the park same time as us. Their son was around the same age as my son. They were playing together, and we were just talking. They went to the playhouse and screamed at the top of their lungs that there's some kid there with blood all over his face. Recognizing that they were probably just tired or something, we all go sit in the playhouse with them and reassure them it's nothing. Suddenly, they both told us that he's standing right there next to us, and we got freaked out and left when their son said that this bloodied kid apparently was reaching out to us. During this time, her husband was going around the park scanning everything to make sure there actually wasn't a kid there. At this point, we thought it would be a great idea to just go home. We exchanged numbers, then we just hurried and packed all our belongings to leave. As we were leaving, one of the swings in the swing set started rapidly swinging beyond what the wind could do. No, there was no wind there that night. This individual swing was swinging higher and more aggressively. We all witnessed this and just kind of said, "Yup, it's time to go." As I'm pulling out of the park, my son starts screaming, "He's there! He's coming! He's coming, Mommy!" Way to freak out the driver, so I was having an anxiety attack, and I have never pulled out of a parking lot so fast before. Rest of the night, my son clung to me and refused to leave my side for a moment. Safe to say I'm never going back to the park at night anymore.
Tired and Stupid 82 wrote, "My older sister's old flat had a lot of weird issues. She had it exorcised twice. Turned out someone died in the house, as well as someone was murdered on the doorstep. Her boyfriend would come in from work and would feel like someone punched him in the back of the head on more than one occasion. You'd hear him shout in pain as he came in the door. My then 18-month-old niece was lying next to my sister trying to have a nap, and my sister could hear her daughter giggling and saying, 'Stop, I go sleep now,' and trying to play with an invisible figure. One night, I was staying over and had a terrible nightmare that a demon was trying to kill me, and I screamed at it to fuck off before fighting it off. The next morning, my sister comes into the living room really groggy and tells me she had a horrible nightmare around 1 a.m. about a demon trying to kill her. My nightmare was exactly the same time as hers."
Doctor Who the Fuck wrote, "I was babysitting my friend's brother, 3 years old, with my then friend. We were 14 years old. Her grandpa just died, but we didn't know yet. At one point, we hear her brother talking, so we go into his room. He is standing in his bed, one of those with bars around it, and is talking to the dark corner of his room. We ask him, 'Hey, sweetie, did you have a bad dream? Who are you talking to?' He says Grandpa. We told him that Grandpa wasn't here, but he could tell him his story the next day. He said, 'No, Grandpa is here.' The next day, we heard that Grandpa had died.